Hello, everyone. Hola, mundo. Welcome to Voces Poderosas 2024. I'm Jackie Bouvier, here to shine a light on our nation's most powerful voices of influence. I'm honored that I've created a movement that's highlighting and celebrating all of the brilliant minds, the brilliant Latinos here in this country. These interviews inspire and empower our Latinidad, showcasing voces poderosas that impact and drive change in this country and in the world. Voces Poderosas is a transformative shortcast spotlighting trailblazers, pioneers, catalysts, and leaders. These exceptional professionals bring insightful wisdom to inform and empower you and me, helping us catapult to the next level in our careers, our professional lives, and as entrepreneurs to scale and become what you have always meant to be. So today, we're thrilled. I am thrilled to introduce to you my dear friend, someone who I really, really consider a friend I look up to, inspires me, Rosario Casas, an award winning Latinapreneur. She's a mentor at the Founder Institute and a 2020 OBO 100 Innovator, recognized as a Mujer Legendaria by Ford in 2020. Rosario is a true force, leveraging AI for good and augmented humans to create lasting impact. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Join us as we dive into her inspiring journey. Rosario, welcome to Voces Poderosas. Un gran honor tenerte.
Jackie querida, it is a complete pleasure and honor to be here, and also congratulations for all the group that you are gathering in the cyberspace, inspiring people, and of course, well, very happy and honored to be here with you.
Thank you, Rosario. You mean so much to me, and this is an honor for me as well. I'd love to start off by asking you our first question, and I'd love to hear more about your journey, your story, your why. Why don't you tell
Well,
us?
that's a non-linear journey, and I really think that that's one of the interesting things. I started dreaming to be president of Colombia. I'm proudly Colombian, and I didn't ask for it. I'm a political scientist by training, and I started working in anti-corruption for many years. Hard work, very hard work, and then and with the World Bank and with different institutions on that topic, and then I ended up being the chief of staff for a Colombian first lady. At that moment, Colombia was starting to change for good. That was a really interesting moment of our country, and uh, I found that challenge of, yes, I love the public environment. I really believe in changing the life of people, but I really think that is not from government where I can impact the most. And I realized that the timing on the public sector is slow compared with, I'm a little bit intense, so with the private sector where you can promise a job and create a job the next day. I mean, it's in your hands. So I switched career. I moved to the private sector. I was landing foreign direct investment into Colombia for some years, uh, looking to impact the life of people. Same thing, same why, different way to do it. And in 2013, a Silicon Valley company that was building artificial intelligence and big data, very early moments of the industry, of course, they arrived to my company, to my consulting company, because they were acquiring a Colombian company, a Colombian team of geniuses, developers that were amazing geniuses. And I did the merging process, and that changed my life forever because they offered me to be their global CEO. And that's how I started in the technology world, being the CEO for a Silicon Valley company. And
Wow.
that was a moment where I realized that technology will be the best way from the private sector to change lives as I was dreaming. So there will be only one opportunity to say, yes, I accept. I know that I have a challenge. I know that I need to train myself in many other new things, or no, and the life will be like regular one, or maybe phenomenal in another space. But I really think that that was a key decision at that time. I led that company. I converted two teams of amazing people into a real company with revenue, with products, and we raised some money from there. And that's how I realized that I also wanted to learn code not just to be a manager in a technology company, but actually building product. And that coincided with a moment when my husband was appointed to work in New York. We moved there. We moved at that moment, and the reality is, I never imagined that it will change my life that much. I started from scratch because I had no friends, no school or university friends from that there. So I was like, oh, this is a challenging moment, but it gave me too much because it gave me the opportunity to reinvent myself, to think now the same why, how I want to build it, how I want to do it, how I can impact without the limitation of this is what people already knows about me. And I think that's my way to impact with that why today is just using technology to change lives, to impact. And of course, we want to have more Latinas and more women building technology because we need to.
And we can, and we're smart enough, and somos super emprendedoras.
Yes.
Well, what a journey you have. That's an incredible story, Rosario. You are amazing. What
Thank you.
that's one of the journeys that I'm like, wow, and how did you keep your Latinidad, and how did your heritage play a part in your professional life and your culture during this time or now as a professional?
Well, it started very easy because I learned English as an adult. So my accent is always giving a touch of culture. And I took advantage of it also to show younger generations that you you may have an accent. Accent in everything in life can be a superpower. And also, of course, I come from generations. I mean, my mother, my grandmother, my sisters are women who are amazing, bold, strong, creative. And I really think that I have all that heritage that is not only the Colombian, the Latino heritage, but also the family heritage that in Latino culture is that important.
It's very important, and I think that's something that you bring to the table, and as Latinos we do, right? That sense of belonging and such. But hearing your story, you're a very intelligent woman, and I commend you for that, and so proud, una Latina inteligente. And I think that we all need to, and I'm excited because I want all the young generation out there to hear about you, to hear your story, to learn from you, to understand that you can learn coding at any age. You
True.
can get into AI at any age and understand it, right? So, what advice would you give to any professional or even a student out there listening to this shortcast?
Well, I will give three advices. The first one is don't be stopped because you don't have something that is the typical career path. For example, I'm not an Ivy League student. I don't have these skills. I was not an engineer. Whatever you want is like that cannot be a blocker of what you dream, of what you want to be. There are always ways to arrive to the same places with different skills and tools. That's the first one. The second one is dream big, because otherwise the worst thing that could happen is that you reach the dream very early and it's a small dream. So dream big because the work is equally hard, is equally intense, and we need people dreaming big and bold, and we need Latinos and Latinas doing it. And the third one, I think is sometimes we Latinos think that our weaknesses are real weaknesses. For example, we come from countries that have no resources or not the same level of education or not the same access to the market or to the economy. But the reality is that we were recursive to access those things in another way. Being creative, using our brains and minds to create those opportunities is a superpower that we already developed, is a skill that we already developed. So taking advantage of it to help others, to impact the life of others. And I said I will give three, but there is a last one. Don't be consumers of technology only. Try to learn how you can use it to build things. Try to learn, for example, with my two of my nephews, I did the same thing, and they are amazing developers now. They are starting to develop video games, because with both of them, I just reflected with them, hey, do you want to just play video games, or do you want to learn how to build them? And it's not that difficult to start at that age, and you are giving them a future that is already amazing. So that will be the last one. Try to build. The worst thing is that the what you will doesn't work the first time. But that's the worst thing that could happen.
I love that. That resonates with me, my heart. Hearing you say dream big, and then you'll realize that dream was not big enough. It'll be like, oh, the dream's done. I completed it. Next big dream. I love that. We sometimes don't think about that because those are the milestones we reach. I love that advice. And then the ones starting to code and learn and all of that. I actually saw a class the other day for my 6-year-old, and they start at 6 because they start reading at that age. And so I'm like, oh, I'm getting him. He's going to have to code. And he's going to have to learn how to do all of this because that's the way we're headed, right? So I love that. Those 4 advice tidbits are amazing. I'd like to
Jackie,
ask you last.
I started coding 10 years ago, just to give perspective to the audience. 10 years ago, when I was already 40. I have 50, just had my birthday. But it means it's never late to start learning new technologies. And that's the new reality. We will need to learn how to learn new things without being afraid of failing, because you will make it.
Yes, and I love that you said that because it's important to understand not to be afraid of technology and to be able to just get in there and learn it. It's not hard, right? You can learn
No,
it. Thank you for that.
fully.
I want to ask you one last question. We have a couple of minutes, and I wanted to see your perspective for the Latino. And what achievements do you think? Because we're hearing all this data and information out there, especially during Hispanic Heritage Month. But what do you feel that we still need to achieve as Latinos in this country?
We need to have more Latinos building technology. And I will let you know, especially in the world of artificial intelligence, that's very important, not only because of the representation, but because the majority of these systems that we are building, and this training of databases and artificial intelligence systems are learning from the ones who are training it. So if we have more Latinos, of course, we will be including this perspective, the point of view, the accent, even and think how important it is to have systems like Siri, like Alexa, like whoever, recognizing the voice with an accent, because that's completely different than just training systems to recognize perfect non-accent voices. And that's not the world. The world has accents in everything. So we need the systems to recognize our skin color, our styles, our personalities. I still have messages from advertisers thinking that I am a male because I love technology. I search about electric cars, technology implementation, software, code, gadgets, and my name ends in an O, Rosario. So the systems are trained to assume that a name ending in an O and searching for those type of topics is a male's name. So that only means we need more Rosarios coding and building the systems.
That's right. We need more Rosarios and we need more of this information out there so that we can alter and augment this and make it better, right? All right, Rosario. Thank you so much.
Thank
It's a
you.
blessing, a true blessing having you on Voces Poderosas today. I truly, truly admire and love you as a dear friend. So thank you for being here today. I admire you.
You
Have a
know.
great, wonderful day.
You too. Thank you. Thank you.